Hello world, I apologize for the voice, but I am not comfortable speaking online myself. Now on to the topic of the video. Putting an end to the hybrid war. With my own creation, I've spent a majority of my time creating with various components to not only kill the Indominus 2.0, but every single living organism on Earth. For context, for those unfamiliar with a hybrid war, the hybrid war is a fun little event that I've seen various creators take place in after Goji Guy created his own hybrid to combat Goji Center's Indominus Rex 2.0. I will link their channels in the description. Let me start off with what my hybrid is made of, and it is a lot. I will name the species, then the contribution it makes to the hybrid. Anopheles mosquito. This will allow it to have some resistance to pesticides and malaria parasites. They are also known for carrying parasites, specifically malaria. Honeybee will allow its species to operate as a hive and can communicate via dancing. Honeybees also remember faces. The queen can produce pheromones to communicate as well. This hybrid won't have a queen but will use this trait of a queen to their advantage to sense each other. Honeybees can also communicate via movement when needed. Cockroach. To have very resilient insects that can live 1 week without a head. For the cool factor, the one I'm using is one that hisses. The exoskeleton is made up of overlapping plates, connected by a stretchy membrane, which is so flexible that this allows them to fit through small cracks and crevices. They also have a thicker outer layer that can protect them and shift when needed. Marbled crayfish. Females can reproduce asexually by producing an egg without a male. Wandering glider. Migratory insects that can feed on airborne plankton. This will give the species the instinct to migrate large distances after devastating an area. Snow fleas contain an antifreeze protein that allows them to thrive in cold temperatures. Cataglyphis pickler. Inhabitants of the Sahara Desert that are thermophilic, also known as heat resistance. Parasitoid wasp. Larvae will eat their victims from the inside out, bursting out like xenomorphs. Injection is done via a long needle-like appendage known as an ovipositor. Ironclad beetle has one of the most resilient exoskeleton to withstand being crushed. Wings are protected by its elytra that open and close to safeguard wings. The elytra also has a connective suture to help distribute an applied force more evenly throughout its body. Flower beetles. Flower beetles are one of the few insects that can survive at least 100,000 rad, proven by mythbusters. Diamondback moth devastates crops and has a notable resistance to insecticides, both artificial and biological. Shrew. Shrews have a high concentration of iron on their teeth that will give our hybrid iron-tipped pincers, stingers, etc. Immortal jellyfish. Immortal jellyfish are smaller than the nail on a pinky finger, but they have the amazing ability to revert their cells back to an earlier form, resetting its life cycle. Human. For higher coordination and planning among the species. This also gives it its size. A full-grown adult around the size of a child. Polybius ensloi will grant hybrid swimming capabilities with breathing underwater. Bombardier beetle. Bombardier beetles have a defense mechanism where they can spit a hot, noxious chemical spray from the tip of their abdomen with a popping sound. In this case it can spit through the mouth, and if crushed by a larger animal or injured by a human, can explode into this chemical. It also has butterfly properties, combined with a mosquito to give it a prehensile tongue, tipped by iron to allow penetration of anything, even body armor. Addendum. Hybrid is an all-female species. Weakness may be fire if temperatures exceed its resistance to heat. Same can be said for cold, a nitrogen of some kind that exceeds its resistance to acid can melt through its body too. Its behavior involves migrating and eating everything it comes across. This includes water bodies as well, where it can breathe underwater and hunt. Hives can be huge or split off to cover more ground. It does not age past adulthood unless it chooses to, otherwise it is effectively immortal, even without food if resources became scarce. Its life cycle includes injecting its eggs into living organisms via the ovipositor, needle-like stinger, or its prehensile tongue, both tipped with iron to pierce body armor. These eggs are tiny and unnoticeable until it's too late and the parasite-based larvae hatch. Its size is around 20 microns. Now we will talk about how it will actually kill the Indominus 2.0. Whether it successfully pierces the skin, gets eaten, or destroyed. The eggs will enter the open orifice anyways. Also, if destroyed, it will burst into a noxious chemical spray that covers a wide area. This spray is filled with its eggs. My hybrid can lay up to 500 eggs within an organism. The larvae will mature and metamorphosis into its adult form before bursting from the host like a xenomorph. The adults at this point are around the size of a baby but will grow to the size of a child shortly. These babies will then join the nearest hive. They could even lay their own eggs soon once they produce them, since my hybrid can reproduce asexually. In this case, the Indominus 2.0 is our host, and it will do exactly as described, with the advantage of being parasitic in nature, not to mention the virus it will infect any organism with. Plant, reptilian, mammal, it does not matter. The properties are as follow, and then I will describe the virus itself. Virus components. Ebola virus, Zer ebolavirus. The Ebola virus is an extremely vicious virus that can spread via contaminated meat or through infected feces and fluids, with an incubation period of 21 days before any symptoms show. Necrotizing fasciitis. A serious bacterial infection that destroys tissue under the skin. This spreads quickly and basically rots the skin of the victim. Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria are known for surviving extreme conditions, which will allow this virus to infect a bigger variety of organisms with higher body temperatures or colder. Malaria. Plasmodium falciparum. A unicellular protozoan parasite and one of the deadliest of its species that cause malaria and can be transmitted by mosquitoes. Coronavirus. Airborne properties. Rabies. Causes erratic behavior and fear of water due to fatal inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Cordyceps. My version of cordyceps is altered to where it will hijack the nerve system of an animal. Cordyceps will alter the organism's behavior to have them crawl into a high open space to efficiently spread their pores when they die. Once the organism dies, then the cordyceps can fully bloom into mushrooms on the corpse and release its spores to infect other nearby organisms. The hybrid will also be alerted about infection and their whereabouts due to pheromones responding to these spores. They lay their eggs in live organisms, but these cordyceps corpses work too. The spores also contain my hybrid virus. Gastroenteritis allows it to survive in water. Ricin, a highly toxic naturally occurring protein in castor beans and the castor oil plant, causes vomit and bloody diarrhea. This lets my virus tap into plant life. How the virus works. Once a larvae hatches, it will act as the parasite to infect the host, in this case the Indominus 2.0, to the virus. It has an incubation period of 2 days, and the immune system of any organism would struggle to defeat the parasitic larvae that are voracious by nature, especially as the body breaks down due to the virus and as the larvae eat the host from the inside out. Larvae will reach maturity once fat enough and will burst from the host to join the hive, but this doesn't always kill immediately. Symptoms start on day 2 and the host will be dead by day 3, with their body being controlled by the cordyceps properties. Symptoms include fever, bloody diarrhea, cough and blood, sneezing, congestion, pain throughout the body, rapid behavior, aversion to water, eye redness, sore throat, red spots on skin, headaches, chills, rotting skin, hives that can burst and spread the virus, eggs not included. Hyperaggression towards healthy specimens. This virus will survive in the harshest conditions alongside the larvae or by itself. This virus can infect water and is airborne. It can also be transmitted via body fluids like spit, blood on open wounds, etc.
The dead organisms can be controlled by the hybrid via the pheromones interacting with the cordyceps.
The giant eyes of my hybrid is akin to dragonfly, meaning it sees you as clear as day above it all. Its body is the size of a child and generally lightweight, apart from the fluids of its chemical spray and the light armor given to it via its exoskeleton. Its exoskeleton can open up to reveal its wings that are twice its body size when out, flapping its wings rapidly with the assistance of its grasshopper-like legs to launch it into the air if needed, or onto the backs of bigger prey if found grounded. Its body is also coated in iron, specifically the sharp appendages at the tips. The hybrid feeds by sucking its victim dry. By sticking its prehensile straw-like tongue into the body, it will then eat the shriveled-up body, only leaving behind the skeleton. Its body armor also deters any melee or ranged attacks such as jaws or man-made weapons like guns. So once it is done with decimating the Indominus 2.0 population, it will move on to other organisms such as plants, fungi, insects, etc. Nothing alive is safe. It will decimate bodies of water and marine life as well as it migrates over large distances, and eventually, it will target humans. By the end, Earth will be dead. Nukes cannot stop it for the most part either, since it can withstand 100,000 rads. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, because I put a lot of effort into my art and I would appreciate it. See you next time.
Watashi no na wa Kirai Yoshikage, 年齢33歳。自宅は森王町北東部の別荘地帯にあり、結婚はしていない。